Holy crap, though. Let's talk about Howling Dark real quick. Book 2 of the Sun Eater series. The book continues to follow Hadrian Marlowe, a man destined to become both hero and monster, saint and destroyer. While Empire of Silence was a story of ambition and rebellion, Howling Dark pushes Hadrian into the abyss. Literally. He's lost in the farthest reaches of space, trying to broker peace, searching for answers and for purpose, and what he finds is something between, I think, revelation and nightmare. This sequel feels bigger in every way, with a massive and grand scope, and yet somehow it still feels incredibly focused and intimate, regardless if you're in a city, a mystical garden, a space station, or other planets. All of which and more are a part of this narrative. There are a lot of characters, because again, grand scale. We start, of course, with Hadrian, who is one of the most compelling narrators that I've read in a long time. It's first person. You don't fully know if he's a reliable narrator or not, but he shares his story with such passion and impact and vulnerability and strength that you can't help but believe every word he's saying. He's incredibly self-aware, flawed, and really haunted by his own myth. You can feel the tension between who he is and who he's becoming, and it is fascinating. The supporting cast is too numerous to count. They are fantastic as well. Each person is shaped by politics, empire, faith, consequences, their actions and choices, loyalty, and the slow decay of power. Nobody, not a single character, feels one-dimensional. Every character has scars and motives that make sense, even when those motives collide, even when those motives are heartbreaking and you see the fallout of relationships or the pain of loss. This is not a small book. It is pretty dense, and there are a lot of themes, some of which I think are very clearly seen and very obvious, and some of which I think are woven through in a very subtle and nuanced way that maybe some people won't pick up on. I actually think it's a testimony and a testament to Christopher Ruocchio's skill as an author and really his depth of insight on just humanity that he is able to build in so many themes. At its core, I think the biggest theme is what it means to bear responsibility, to shoulder guilt, to lead when every choice you make feels wrong, but you know you need to make a choice, and to hope when hope itself feels maybe fleeting. Other themes that I think are really clearly seen are the reality of time and how time shapes us, how our choices have consequences, either good or bad. Every decision we make has some form of consequence. There's the theme of free will, of belief in something bigger than yourself, honor, freedom versus duty. And I think one of the more subtle yet deeply profound themes that is really clearly seen if you start to dig down just a little bit from start to finish is this theme of what does it even mean to be human? And Ruocchio handles this in such a beautiful and nuanced way. I think that's one of the reasons why this book felt so incredibly compelling to me. Now here's what worked for me. Pretty much everything. I love this book. There's not another way for me to say this. But I will give a few things that are specific. Number one, the world building. It's straight up staggering. It's a galaxy that somehow feels ancient and modern, with deep history and lore that you just want to get lost in. It's layered with fallen empires, extinct gods, and philosophies and religions that have aged thousands and thousands of years. It's kind of like that sense you get when you look up at the night sky, at the endless possibilities and endless questions that you might have, as well as a little bit of existential dread. And what really hit me is how Ruocchio somehow balanced this epic feeling with still feeling like an intimate story. He can go from describing galactic wars to alien deities to a single line that cuts straight through the heart. There are so many incredible, thoughtful, wise quotes in this book that my journal was getting filled up with all the good stuff that was there. In the midst of the action and the forward momentum, there are these quiet moments that honestly just feel pretty profound when you let yourself dwell on them and really think about it, which is not something I was expecting from this book. Another thing that worked for me really well is the pacing. Empire of Silence, although I really enjoyed it, had some meandering parts that didn't necessarily feel as cohesive or focused. Empire of Silence, the pacing, no notes. Honestly, the pacing just felt so dialed in. And that's someone with an ADHD brain that gets distracted really easily. I was so dialed in and here for this story that I didn't want to stop reading. I just wanted to continue to live in this story and live in this world. And when you add in the various twists and turns and just the utter bizarre and bonkers things that gets added to the story, things that I would have never imagined or thought that the story would go there, or kind of just creative ideas and creatures and world building that exist all in this pacing, it's just Mwah, chef's kiss. So good. And then finally, I would say the prose itself, the way that Christopher Ruocchio writes, it is elevated, certainly, but I still think it's incredibly accessible. Ruocchio writes like someone who has spent a lot of time with classic literature and has swam in the depths of just beautiful storytelling and ancient wisdom and philosophy. And I don't say this lightly, and I don't think they're the same. But in the same way that when I read Tolkien, I get lost in the story, I get lost in the world building and the action and the character development and all the different things that are going and the different motivations. But then there are those moments that, because the language is so beautiful and thoughtful, it just stops me and I want to sit and ponder and think. I found myself doing that in this book, which to me is incredible. But what didn't work for me? Nothing. Not a dang thing. Everything worked for me. This is going to be a book that I end up annoying people about, and I'm going to want to talk about all the time. Like, I know it, and I'm already ready to read the next book in the series. I will say this. I think this is a book that demands something of the reader. So if you are looking for a book that is just lasers and explosions, like if you're wanting a Michael Bay film instead of like a Christopher Nolan film, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone likes a good Michael Bay film, get lost in. It's easy. You don't have to think. You just get to enjoy it. But sometimes it's nice to have something really meaty and interesting that you want to track with. And that's kind of how this book lands. So whereas I think anybody can enjoy this book and everyone should read this book, I very much understand that it's going to be based on kind of where you're at right now in the season of life, how much bandwidth you have, how much energy you have, and how much time you're willing to invest in the story. Because I do think it is a story that just requires more of you because it is so involved and is so intricate, and there's so many different themes and aspects of world building and lore that you want to be dialed in. So whenever you're ready for that type of book, this is a good book for you. Now, my determinations in these book reviews come down to one of three things. Just read it. If you have time, read it, or it's your time, not mine. Read it if you want. This is 100% just read it. I don't care when you read it, but you should read it. And when you do read it, I want you to let me know that you read it, because I want to know what you thought. And if you are someone that read this book and you didn't like it and you think it's terrible and you have issues with it top and down, I'd really be curious as to know why. No judgment. I just can't. Maybe I have blinders on. Maybe I just love the story too much and the writing so much that I just can't see. Either way, let me know in the comments below, because this is one of those books that I want to talk about with people and I want more people to read. All right, that's it for this one. As always, stay curious, read deeply, and I'll see you in the library.